friend for the friendless. He'll be a company keeper in the midnight hour. And every time I have a burden that I can't seem to bear, I found out that I can call on Jesus. If you call his name, your body can be healed. Your soul can be saved. Nobody like him. At the name of Jesus, every knee must bow. Every tongue must confess. The more I call him, the better I feel. Things start to change. Nobody like Jesus. I can talk all day and all night about Jesus. I'm so glad I got him. He's a wheel in the middle of a wheel, a way out of no way, a rock in a weary land. Every time I need him, he showed up right on time. He's the only one I know that can be late, but he's still right.
She be riding in a Jeep, and she party on the weekend. She be rolling through them streets, yeah. Different ride for every season. It ain't always been that way. No, it ain't always been that season. But they know gotta make a way to get you through them situations. Yeah. On and on. Gotta do some things just to blow your mind. On and on. Now you're walking in that favor, feeling so alive. Just keep your head high to the greatest. Super fresh up in the latest. They never thought that you would make it, but look, mama, we made it. It's so crazy, it's so alive. Yeah, I can go on and on because down on the scene. Yeah, I really hope you ready. So much grace and favor falling on me. Hallelujah on me. It's what it do, yeah. Shower down like rain. I really hope you ready. So much grace and favor falling on me. Hallelujah on me. That's what it do, yeah. You don't do the counterfeit, no. Cause you got so much to accomplish. Yeah. You're on your way up to the top. You stay winning and you won't stop. Everything's official, so official. If I hate it in your way, then blow the whistle. So if you feel the rain, don't mind. I just came to tell you, yeah, you was on and on. Gotta do some things just to blow your mind. On and on. Now you're walking in that favor, feeling so alive. Keep your head high to the greatest. Super fresh up in the latest. They never thought that you would make it, but look, mama, we made it. It's so crazy, it's so alive. Yeah, I can go on and on because I was down on the scene. I really hope you ready. So much grace and favor falling on me. Hallelujah on me. I swear it all they shower down like rain. I really hope you ready. So much grace and favor falling on me. Hallelujah on me. That's what it do, yeah. Water, the signing, it's raining, it's good. I got it, the favor, it's on me. Oh, hold up, pull up, you probably should get these blessings. It's pouring flood, 104 times to favor on me. I can't love. Hold up, pull up, probably should get these blessings pouring, flowing down on the scene. I really hope you ready. So much grace and favor falling on me. Hallelujah on me. Shower down like rain. I really hope you ready. So much grace and favor falling on me. Hallelujah on me. That's what it do, yeah.
I hear you calling me, calling your spirit drawing me. Good and bad and joy and pain, they all go hand in hand. Often they play their roles at the same time. Confused, I don't understand. I don't do everything wrong, and I'm not always right. I keep it real with myself, that God is that greater than me, that lives in me, guiding me safely. I'm so unworthy. You calling me, your spirit drawing me, you calling me, your spirit drawing me, even me. The God in me overshadowed by my wrong. I should do good, but I won't. It makes me wonder why God keeps on loving me. I don't deserve it. He thinks I'm worthy. Oh, you calling me, your spirit drawing me, even me. You calling me, your spirit drawing me, I found out when I'm weak, I'm strong. Your strength is made perfect. And when I think I can't, you prove that I can. And when I'm empty, your grace is enough.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon. Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Ask Elaine, better ask Elaine. Ask Elaine, better ask Elaine. Ask Elaine,
Oh, good afternoon. Good afternoon. And we want to welcome you to Ask Elaine. Get this hair pulled down a little bit here, sticking out a little bit too much. Y'all, please keep in touch through about the weather. There's a forecast for some rough weather here in Macon Middle, Georgia. So, y'all stay tuned to your preferred news media so that you can keep up with precautions that you need to make. We want to welcome you to Ask Elaine, those who've tuned in on AM, FM, and those who are right here looking at us on the Glory Live. We welcome you. And as always, we're just so pleased that you chose to spend this hour with Ask Elaine. We are looking at checking with the station to see if we could have from now on through to Election Day, November 5th, to an extended Ask Elaine, where we share information on all of the candidates that are running. We've had a number of them in as our guests. Congressman Bishop, we've had a number of other folks. Former Mayor Floyd Griffin has been on with us. And one of our guests today is an incoming commissioner for Macon Bibb County. And just as soon as that guest arrives, then we will have her here, along with another young lady who has set up a program where she's doing a ministry of sorts through information on the opioid epidemic that we're facing. It just looks like we've got one thing after the other, but as long as we've got people fighting to help others, then we're okay. We're going to be okay. We're working on resolving the issues. We want to thank you once again for tuning in. We express greetings to you. Hi. Greetings to you on this. It's actually a beautiful day out. The weather is great. We want to thank our supporters and our sponsors who tuned in and who want to get smarter, who find out something every week that we're on, some information that you didn't know and something that you can share with others. We want to welcome, Kimberly Houston, Randy Crawford, Patricia Booz, Randy. Yeah, we just said Randy. Okay. And I'm going to do my best. Last week, I realized I scrolled down through the chat and realized that I had not welcomed bunches and bunches and bunches of folks who always, always tune in. But I'm sorry, y'all. I got kind of enthralled with the discussion that we were having, and I forgot to scroll so that we could recognize all the folks who've tuned in with us. And so hopefully I won't miss anybody today. But those of you who've joined us already, we want to welcome you. We want to express our sincere condolences to the families who have lost loved ones. One service that Senator and I attended on Monday was the funeral service for the late Darren Lee of Warner Robins. He was a community member. He was very active with a number of wonderful organizations, and he had previously served as a member of the Warner Robins City Council. And so his services were held at Fellowship Bible Church in Warner Robins, a very fitting uh, homegoing celebration for him. And we just want to express our condolences to his family and the family of all of those folks who have lost loved ones. And we want to congratulate those of you who have good happenings in your family, weddings, graduations, all of those kinds of things. And we're just as happy for you as we are in sharing our condolences to those families. We also want to pay tribute to the late Mr. Simmons, um, who was just a Fort Valley State icon. He supported that school like a whole lot of us that graduated from Fort Valley. I graduated from Savannah State, but I got my master's from the Fort Valley State. And there's not a single person who hasn't seen Mr. Simmons out there supporting. I think he sold peanuts and things to support the school, but you're talking about an advocate for a historically black college. That was Mr. Simmons. He was my neighbor over on the east side and was very active in a lot of different things. But above all, he loved his family, but he also loved Fort Valley State University. So, what are the rest of us going to do to make sure that we never forget? We go to one observance, one going home, homegoing ceremony, and we think that that's all. But we can do things in tribute to the late Mr. Simmons and also the late Darren Lee, council member Darren Lee. We've got elections coming up. You can do that as a tribute to those men who gave to the community. That's the least that you can do because it's for yourself and your family as well. And by the way, if I didn't say it, there's some folks who don't want you to vote. If you didn't know it, there's some folks, a lot of them that are working day and night to keep you from voting, to discourage you, to make you feel alienated from the process. So don't let them win. And we are encouraging people to vote early. If you're not registered, you cannot vote. You have until October 7th, which means really the 6th, to fill out your application and become a registered voter. I just wouldn't walk around, um, and not exercise my rights, and then have people trying to take them away from me, and then I sit up and let them. Mm-mm. No, 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 no. Let's we just say no altogether. We want to again welcome all those who've tuned in. Y'all please hit like and share, or phone your buddies and remind them that Ask Elaine is on the air. This is your weekly talk and information program, one that we're very proud to bring to you through the generosity of a number of good sponsors, including Senator Lucas and the former Mayor C. Jack Ellis, who, by the way, is in town. We're going to have him on in the next few weeks to talk about the African country that he last visited and what he did while there. So I know you'll look forward to that. And we're going to have the other candidates who will be the other folks who have been elected to represent all of us in these various positions. All right, our guests today, very special guests, are none other than Miss Sandra Dean, who is head of an organization. They've been doing an awful lot of work in this community, and we're going to get to her and let her tell you a little bit more about herself. But also, she's going to tell you about some opportunities for you to learn, for you to get smarter, for you to save your life and the lives of a lot of other people. Our other guest is none other than soon to be the Honorable Donis Bryant, who is a member of she's employed by the Macon Bibb Sheriff's Department, a long time employee, loyal employee of Macon Bibb, but she won the post of District 8 County Commission. And so we're going to be talking about her. Well, congratulations, first of all. We're really happy for you. and she's going to tell you why you need to be involved in government, what she's going to try and do on our behalf, but how you can help her. So, but first, we're going to go. Let me remind you now, hit like and share. And you can also call in and give comments or questions. You can share with us in the chat. The number to call is 478-250-1444. 478-250-1444. We'd love to hear what you have to say. And if you have a question of either one of our guests, would you just please put those in the chat or call us. We'd be glad to hear from you. Um, we need to congratulate our Senior Citizens Center too. They won first place in a talent contest, and I think it was in Alabama. Was it Alabama? And they went over there and danced everybody else off the stage. They were sharp. They were together. Those Oh, they did an awesome job. And if you want to see their actual performance, you can go on Facebook to the Elaine Lucas Senior Citizen Center down in Carolyn Creighton Park. They have a Facebook page, and they show you all of the different things that those seniors those talented seniors are doing. They do something every day out of the month. You'll never get bored. You will always be moving, always have opportunities to be involved in things that are sponsored under the senior citizens arm of Macon Bibbs Recreation Department. So if you sit around and say you don't have anything to do, you don't just keep sitting there. But there are a lot of people who go to the senior center. That's also an early voting site that's very popular too. So October 15th, so you can get ready, get set. And on October 15th, which is the first day of early voting, I'm going to vote early. I'm not going to take a chance. You don't know when and you don't know where. So you need to be ready and make sure that you go and vote. And we're encouraging everybody, don't wait. Go vote early so that if anything comes up and any of those low down dirty folks try to mess with you or your voting or whatever, you have time to get it straight. We'll come help you. We'll come help. Hey, and they won't do that anymore because there are laws against intimidating people and messing with folks who are exercising their rights. But there is a concerted effort here in Bibb County and all over, especially the state of Georgia, to keep you from going to vote. So you let them do it if you want to, but I'm not. I'm going the first day. And if there's anything out of line, hey, I can get it straight, but I can't as easily if it's the day of the election. So we're going to turn now to Miss Dean and have you to kind of reintroduce yourself to everybody and then tell us about this special and tell us about this special program that you are going to be sponsoring.
Okay, so hello everyone, and thank you, Commissioner Lucas, for allowing us to be back in the studio again. We are so appreciative of that. My name is Sandra Dean. I am the Executive Director of Beyond the Bell. Beyond the Bell is a 22-and-a-half-year-old nonprofit organization. We began in DeKalb County as an after-school and summer program under the state of Georgia. And since then, we have actually become state contractors to provide substance abuse prevention programs for youth 9 through 20 and senior citizens programs. So we work with youth in the Bibb County schools. We provide life skills. Something that our children really need are life skills, especially today. So we're working in 24 Bibb County schools. We have school teachers that are providing the training after school for our students, and it's going really well. When we work with senior citizens, they have some of the same issues actually that children do. They are confused, some of them. They're lonely. They have too many medications. Just so many things are going on with seniors. And the program that Commissioner Lucas have over on Sherland Drive area is like something we Beyond the Veil look up to, because we just recently began to work with senior citizens, and we are in such awe with what the seniors are telling us. We have taken them on day trips, Savannah, Montgomery, Tennessee. We have taken them on trips just to get them out of the house. We have brought in people to do programs for them, such as Alzheimer's and dementia programs. We bring nurses in to speak with them and to look at their medications. It is so wonderful to work with seniors, and we are so excited about that. We wanted to tell you about a big event we're having this Saturday, weather permitting, over at Tatton Square Park. One of the things that Beyond the Veil do, we work on the 4 state contracts, and we recently just finished a federal contract. We are going to have a culmination. It's a big party, just a treat for the people of Macon that have really welcomed us here. And to work with us. And we're going to provide them with fried fish, hot dogs, candy, apples. We're going to have things for the children like water slides. And we're going to only ask if you just complete a survey. And that survey just tell us what you feel about Macon, what you want to see Beyond the Veil do. And it's just going to be a really, really nice party at Tatton Square Park, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. this Saturday. I'm pretty sure the weather will cooperate for us.
Yeah. It's been really nice on weekends.
Yes.
And it's getting a little cooler too. This sounds wonderful. I know Herbert Denard knows about it because you said fish. And so he's gonna be there. Herbert, if you're listening today, give us a call. Give us a call, and you can tell us off if you want to, but you like to eat, you like food. We know that.
Do I need to take that back?
No.
No. That's my buddy. We went to Macon Junior together. So
were you at Macon Junior when I was out there
when
too?
The first year that it opened.
I was
the very first year that it opened.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Macon. So I grew up on the east side. This is my home, and when the state awarded us this contract for me to come back home and work, I was ecstatic. Yes. The very first year.
Yeah, we went through that together.
Yeah. I had no transportation, and Mr. Nara would take me home. I beg rides out there and get beg rides back home, but it worked out.
Yeah. Well, I came right out of high school and went to what was Macon Junior College then.
Right.
And it was rough, y'all.
It was rough.
It was just a handful of us.
It was rough
out there.
Yeah.
And we formed the Black Student Unification out there. I was the first president of that group. It is still in operation.
Really?
It's still in operation because from time to time they invite some of the very first students out there. But I tell you, Macon Junior College gave me the background, the base that I needed to move on to Savannah State in that 3rd and 4th year and finish up. And I was exempted from some classes when I transferred to Savannah State. So it was rigorous.
Yeah.
And I had to fight with some folks about my grades.
Of course.
Did you?
Of course.
Yeah. But
I went on to Georgia, and that was real rough.
I know you had. But going from that kind of a stressful situation where you had to fight for everything.
Yes.
And then going to Savannah State, which was a Black college.
Yeah.
Which was a quality Black college.
Yes.
I was just in hog heaven. It was just wonderful to be at Savannah State because it was a change.
Yeah,
and I knew folks were pushing with me, not against me. And I didn't ever have to fight about my grades and stuff.
One of the things I'd like to say that helped build my character today is growing up in Fort Hill. It's something about growing up over there. Now I want to do so many programs over there. My staff tell me you got to work all of Macon. You can't just work Fort Hill.
But you have some favorites. And it is a wonderful place.
Yeah.
A lot of history, and it has some problems just like everywhere else. North Macon, downtown.
Yeah.
Every section has some
Exactly.
problems. Some are just more hidden. And you, as a sheriff's deputy, you know, they hide stuff
Yes.
a little bit better.
Trust me.
But they need treatment too.
Yeah.
All of
Exactly.
everybody does.
Yes.
So tell us one more time about this project, this program that your organization is sponsoring, and tell us why people need to come.
Okay, so we are state prevention specialists. We work with youth 9 through 20 to try to first keep them from getting on drugs and alcohol, adverse behaviors, those type things. We do programs with them, not just the classes. We take them on trips. We form clubs with them. We work in the after school programs. And we, like I said, we started out doing after school programs, but we saw that the children need more than just going to an after school program to get homework. We want to work with the whole child, and that's exactly what we do. So we just teach them about life. We have red ribbon programs with them. We just do all kind of activities to help them become productive citizens. And with the senior citizens, it's basically the same. We just kind of work with them, listen to their needs, try to address the problems that they're having as best we can, do referrals, trips, whatever they say the needs are. We've had one senior citizen that wanted us to do just a life skill class for her 5 or 6 grandchildren at Clisby. So we hired a teacher, went to Clisby, and just worked with that lady's grandchildren. So we try to help.
That's wonderful. So, the school system just received tens of millions of dollars in grant money.
Yeah.
And so that fits right in. I know that your organization is inquiring of the school system about some of the grant money. If you haven't, you do need to, because it sounds like what you're doing, what you're offering, is what our school system needs. Our children are in trouble.
Our children
they
are
in trouble. Not so much because they're bad children, but because there are bad influences around them.
Exactly.
And a lot of parents, either for whatever reason, aren't able to reach them like maybe somebody else. But sometimes children listen to other folks better. You know, because they see parents as, you know, a different category until they need something. But sometimes when you offer the programs and you channel children into it, they benefit greatly from that. So if you haven't explored some of the grant money, I read just yesterday about the tens of millions of dollars that our local school system is receiving to alleviate some of those problems that you've addressed. So you have somebody you want to introduce to our audience?
Yes,
would you come on over here? Y'all got on the same color green,
and we
here.
didn't know
That's
it.
Pretty.
We didn't know. Everybody, I can't do this. I can't do
y'all
this alone.
Y'all are on radio. Y'all are missing out because you can't see. You can't see these beautiful greens. Oh, look at there. Look at there.
We didn't know it because I drove in from Atlanta this morning.
Well, see, wonderful minds, you know. Okay, would you introduce and tell how people can get involved? Others can get involved, like this young lady.
Yes, so my trusted assistant project coordinator is Lavinia Sattler. And Lavinia and I go a long way back at the Water Authority. I actually hired her at the Water Authority like 100 years ago. I was actually the first Black office manager of the Macon Water Authority with the help of Mr. Billingsley, Mr. Denard, and other people. And so Lavinia and I have now come full circle. So I wanted to introduce Lavinia Sattler. I lost a couple of people earlier this year, and she stepped in to get me out of the water. So I really appreciate it. She
certainly is an advocate. You want to say something to our audience?
I would like to say hello, and I see you on Saturday. We're going to have bar peanuts with meat. The fire department will be there, and we're going to fry some fish, and have a great time.
Herbert, you hear that?
And hot
We're gonna
dogs.
fry some
Yes,
fish.
I think we're gonna bring our card table to play some spades.
You're gonna hit the table.
Yes, so I'm
All
excited
right.
about Saturday. So come out and join us in this wonderful community event.
Tatton Square Park, Saturday, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m.
All right. That is wonderful. Wonderful. All right. And tell us what this is one more time.
Okay, so the event is a culmination. We are just finishing up fiscal year 24 with the state. It ends, the fiscal year ends Monday. So this is just a celebration for the success that we've had in Macon Bibb this year. We're getting ready to enter into 4 years working in Macon Bibb County under a 5-year contract with the state. And we just want to do this to thank the community for allowing us to work here. We really want to also thank Reverend Dr. Ficklin, because when we first came to Macon, he was instrumental in trying to help us find office space and just encouraging us to do this work. So we are grateful for so many people in Macon. And this is just our way of saying thank you, Macon.
Look, hot fried fish
Yes.
just really tickles my inner.
Yes.
That's just one of my favorite things to have.
Yeah.
But more than that is people who are concerned
Yes.
and who are working to address issues. I don't like people just to come and fuss all the time and tell me all of the problems. I want you to join in and help to find solutions.
Yes.
And I want to say this, y'all. You know I was going to say it. With a Democratic administration, they can't say it. They're nonpartisan and stuff, but I'm partisan. You remember I told you I'm a Democrat, and even though I ran nonpartisan for the water board, I'm still very, very proud of the fact that I am a Democrat. I'm very partisan. If we don't put Kamala Harris and Governor Walz in the White House, along with Sanford Bishop and all of the other folks in Atlanta, well, he's going to Washington, back to Washington, but all these other folks, if we don't put them in place, programs like these will not survive. Because I have something called Project 2025, which is one that says we are only going to take care of the favorite ones, the golden children, the ones with money. And we're going to get rid of the rest of you do not count. Not the ones who are suffering with addictions, not the ones who are down on their luck, not the ones who ended up in unfortunate situations. We're not caring about them. That's what Project 25 says right here in writing. We don't care whether it's Social Security, we're getting rid of it. We don't care whether it's school lunch programs, we're getting rid of it. We're getting rid of the Department of Education. So your educational offerings, and we're going to give the money to private schools to help educate. It's already happening in Georgia with the voucher program. Private school parents can go and get up to $6,500 of your state money that comes out of our public system and take it to private schools. And then they don't have transportation available, so you can't get there. But this Project 25 is no joke. And the Republicans have a plan for you and me and anybody else that's not a white male with money. And those poor folks who don't have any money, if you're white, you're in the same basket as all the rest of us. If you're a woman, your rights, they don't want you to have any reproductive rights. They don't want you to be able to say what will happen with your body. But guess what? They don't come out and say anything about men's bodies, controlling men's bodies. Men do what they want to do. We want y'all's votes too, men. Y'all got that have good sense. But they don't come out and say anything about men's bodies and reproduction. You hear them saying anything about monitoring Viagra, Cialis, condoms, or any of the other stuff. With men, they're talking about women, about having us barefoot and pregnant all the time, and you have a baby, whether you're raped and you are pregnant as a result of rape, incest, and there's a lot of that in different families that people don't talk about. And they don't care whether the mother's life is in danger. A Black girl from Georgia had to go to another state to get a medical procedure, and she died because she did not, the blood, dead tissue and everything inside her body poisoned her entire system, and she died because of what these folks are trying to do. And Trump says, yes, I'm going to be a dictator on day one. Do you think that clown's going to give up being a dictator after he's dictator for day one? You vote for him if you want to. Vote for him if you want to. And that's my speech for today. But thank you, ladies. You're welcome to. Did you have one more thing you wanted to say?
Yes, I'm sorry. One more thing that I want to say. On Saturday, what we're looking for, and you mentioned this just a few minutes, we need help in making bill. We have a coalition of people that work with us, help us and advise us. Please come up to anyone at Techno Square Park Saturday in a Beyond the Bell t-shirt and talk to us about becoming a part of our coalition. We meet once a month. You help us plan activities. You tell us what's going on in the community so that we can address it. We are looking for members to help us in making bill. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
All right. And thank you both very, very much. We want to welcome, we've been joined by Nikitra Odom, who remembers y'all from the Macon Water Authority, Arlene Brown, Pastor Lisa is on. Is Patrick on as well? Yeah. Patrick is our statistician and our good advice giver. He gave Tina Denard is on with us. Randy Crawford, we called his name. We welcome him. I see Patrick on, Kimberly Houston, Patricia Booz, all of these folks who are loyal. And we know there's some others that we don't even, you don't ever post your name or anything, but we know you're there. And then those who are on AM and FM, we welcome you as well. Thank you all so very much. Ladies, y'all are welcome to stay. If you have to leave, that's fine, but please join in our conversation with our newly elected commissioner for District 8. None other than, what's your rank?
Donnis Bryant, Lieutenant Bryant.
Lieutenant. You heard I said that respectfully. Lieutenant Bryant. We're just so pleased, so happy that you came out victorious in your race. You worked hard.
Yes,
you were out there. I saw you out there. And you made contact with people. And you didn't just start when you ran. You have been doing this all along. And it makes a difference, doesn't it? When you just step up and say, here I am, I brought myself. I wasn't sent. It's just me, and I'm ready to serve y'all. Take my word for it. I don't take folks' word for it. It has to be shown to me. I'm a show me girl. You have to show me that you have an interest in the community before you decided to run. And you had that, and you still have it, because I remember a few weeks ago, you were down there with a group of young people who had won a championship in, what was it, basketball or baseball?
Baseball.
She worked with them and made sure that they got down to the commission meeting and were recognized prior to even taking office. So we want to welcome once again Lieutenant Bryant, who is the commissioner-elect for District 8 of the County Commission.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And I hope to follow in your footsteps. I'm not just saying that. I do. I do. You do a lot of great things for the community. And so I need to know, I want to talk to them also because I think that collaborating with them, we're going to get a lot of stuff done.
Oh yeah.
I have a lot of senior people that like to do stuff in the community. So, but I'm excited. I'm excited to get started. A lot of people asking me, they called me, they were like, we don't see you as much. I'm being honest, y'all. I am under a contract.
Rest.
I'm under a contract with Bill County to December the 31st, 2024.
That's right.
And once my contract is over, I can go into the commissioner seat, but it don't start until January. Well, so I got to fulfill my contract. So I go to some places. I'm not going to make it to all the places. Yeah. Because I still have family. Yeah. I still got this job I got to be at. But when I get in there, I'm going to be running and I don't stop. I keep going. So I'm going to work as hard as I did as when I was campaigning. I wasn't working then, so I could go to all the events. Yeah. But when they say I got to be at their job from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, that's
and y'all are not going to give her any money to fill in.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, because sister says she's got to work. So we all understand that. But you're going to take office. The swearing in is going to be in December, and you will become Commissioner Bryant, and we're proud of that. You'll be replacing Virgil Watkins, who has served for 12 years. He is term limited as I am. I hope to see him involved in running for something else because he has a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, a lot of know-how. And I certainly hope that y'all will be working together kind of to find out where projects are that he's got going so that you can pick those up and get those finished.
I saw one he put online the other day, and I'm glad that he put that on there. It's like gig making. If you see something, like they can sign up to contract some of the work, like the right of ways and to mow grass. And they can go through this link and get their business license as a vendor. Right. And then they can get one of those jobs. And that's easy. If you already do landscaping, I would like to get a contract if I already did that kind of work.
He has been an advocate for that because he saw that the Public Works Department is just overwhelmed with the work because we think sometimes when we turn our one request in that there are no other requests, but there are just hundreds and thousands of them already in. So our department is very scaled down. There's just a handful of employees left, and they work as hard as they can, doing the dirtiest things that we don't want to do, that it's hard to get people to get and keep those jobs. And so Commissioner Watkins has been an advocate of getting people who had small businesses to let it be known that they could handle some of the smaller jobs like right-of-way cutting, picking up trash at certain places that until Public Works can get around to them. So there are some things that are available. So if you're a small business owner, you need to let Sharice Stevens Merriweather in our small business office know what kinds of services and skills you can offer. And who knows, that may be an opportunity for you to get a contract, to do some work, even as a small business.
Get your foot in the door.
Yeah. So we compliment Commissioner Watkins for his tenacity in following up on that, because he's been saying that a long time. And the mayor has put that in place, has supported that. And we voted on that on different contractors over a period of time. And so that is just wonderful. Now, you want to tell us a little bit about what you see as areas of concern that need to be given a little bit more attention?
First of all, I would like to say, before I forget, I see Stanley's already doing it, but in October, November, I'm gonna have a couple of town hall meetings. Just introduce myself. I would like to get some of the people from the neighborhood to be maybe like captains. A lot of captains for the neighborhood that can kind of we can meet on maybe a 3-month basis, and they kind of tell me what's going on because District 8 is a big area.
It is,
and you're not gonna be able to know and see everything. I noticed when we had I call it the other night, unite to tonight to unite.
Yeah.
When we had that, I went 4 places, but a lot of places in District 8 do not have neighborhood watch.
Right.
I think that's very important. I've been in my neighborhood for 25 years. We've always had it, and it makes a difference.
It does.
And so a lot of people don't have it. I know Burt City has one. I know Sherwood Forest has one. I know we have one Berkshire, and then there is also one Travis Boulevard at Jefferson Hills. So that's 4, but the area is so much bigger than that. So I'm hoping to get with some of the pastors. I see Pastor Watson is on here, and see if I can use the church.
Pastor Lisa.
Invite the people to a town hall meeting and get them to come in and they're not going to beat me down about the things that haven't been done in the past, but for the things that we're going to go forward.
Because you never catch up with everything.
So we're going to start on a clean slate, and we're going to go forward. So I want to do that for 2 different places. There's so many churches in District 8, we won't be able to hit
there are a
all
lot of them.
And I'm not going to try. So if they can get out to those 2 or 3 places that I put out, and I'm going to put it out on the news, I'm hoping that they'll come in and participate. And at least, once I do take office, a lot of people that have the biggest voices and the biggest say of what needs to be done. I'm not talking about the people that just complain. I want them to show up to the town hall meeting. Commissioners meetings on Tuesdays. I don't see a whole lot of people in there, and they need to come. If you concerned about what's going on in your district, in your neighborhood, in your community, you need to be at those town hall meetings saying, "Hey, look, we need this over in our area." Because sometimes when you don't say nothing, people think that it's okay, and they think that you're okay. About what's going on in your neighborhood. So we definitely have to get out there and let our voice be heard.
That's true. That's true. And I'm glad to hear you say that you've been in contact with the commissioner who's going to be leaving with Virgil Watkins, so that he can share with you. And I would caution others who are about to take office to also touch base with the folks who've been in the position, because there are a lot of projects, say in District 3, that are ongoing things that are just about, we got a $5.5 million grant for Gray Highway safety and that Clinton Road corridor. Well, I would be offended if the incoming commissioner didn't kind of meet with me and let me kind of pass the baton. That's a smooth way of doing it. And you don't make people think that the person who's been there wasn't doing anything, because sometimes people will say, and there's nothing new, no new service requests under the sun. We've been dealing with them for years and years and years. But some of these things you have to turn in over and over and over, because people throw trash over and over and over. There's a hole in the street over and over and over. There's a dead dog, a dead cat, a dead deer, all of this over and over and over. So sometimes people think that there's something new because they haven't experienced it. But you'll find that a number of the things are going to fall into the same categories. And so as long as you're interested and open and people can get in touch with you, they're going to be real happy for the leadership. So I would just congratulate you. We know that you're going to do an excellent job. We've seen it, as I've said before. And you've let people know that you're committed So that's wonderful. Those of you who are leaving office, I look for their continued involvement, because I would hope that you would not want people to think that you were just involved just because you were in office. The concern still stays there. Many of the folks on the national level, once they are out of office, they continue. Many of them as heads of organizations, as heads of charitable groups that are doing things in the community. So that shows they just weren't there for a day. They were there. They were not there for this short little race. They were there for the long haul, for the long haul, for the people. But I know you are, and I didn't let you finish some of those things that you felt were important areas.
The areas that I see mostly is the bottom of Bloomfield, which would be Deep Drive, down in that area. Um, being at the sheriff's department, being on patrol for probably 12, 13 years, um, it didn't look like it did now. I see more abandoned housings. I see more yards not being maintained. Um, Spencer Circle, rice mill over and off of St. Charles Place. That's a kind of bad area. Back down off of Elkin Avenue, that area back down in there. It's just a lot of abandoned houses that people have just let go. I don't know if they just walked away from or died or they don't have anybody, the kids didn't take over, but I just see that these areas look like they've been forgotten for a while, neglected. And like you said, I know we don't have enough people, public works people, to get in there and do some stuff, but hey, my family house is in Perry and that grass get this much. They send us a letter that say we're gonna charge y'all $100. We're gonna go cut y'all grass. And we're gonna charge y'all $100. We'll put it on your taxes. And we'll be like, yeah, somebody better go cut that grass.
Yeah, that's how Macon Bibb has been able to get. I think we're like approaching 750 properties that have been dilapidated houses that have come down, but there's still so many more, because we had so many years when folks with money could get out of fixing up their property, and there were a lot of slumlords that owned a whole lot of these old houses, and they give people a weekly rental amount, and the people were so scared that they were going to raise their rent until they didn't report the malfunctioning, this, that, and the other. They suffered with it. But that's changed now because the system is in place where if code enforcement determines that you've got some stuff, then you're going to have to do something about it, or you face it being cleared out, and then that amount being attached to that property. So you can't run and hide anymore. And so what we have to do is make sure we watch and make sure none of these same old slumlords continue being able to get out of fixing up stuff. So Tina Denard says hello to everybody. And Patrick Davis says that your district has 11,000 actively registered voters. So you've got a large number, because each district has like 20 something thousand citizens in it. So you have 11,000 active registered voters, which is great. 8,400 are Black. So, but the percentage of turnout is what I look at. And so if you've got 8,400 folks, and you don't have but 2,000 of them to turn out, they aren't doing too much, because those others who maybe just a little bit more than that will prevail. The district is 76% Black.
So, Miss Elaine, I'm sorry.
Elaine is good.
Miss Elaine. What I want to make sure that while I'm in the commissioner seat, I want to make sure I inform a lot of the voters, educate them on why they should vote, because a lot of people are registered, because when they do their SNAP application, they have to register, but they don't know the importance of why they need to get out and vote.
That's right.
They're just kind of like walking around like, oh, it ain't bothering me, or it don't concern me, or that's them. So I want to make sure that, I educate them and let them know why, when they vote count. We're not going to win everything, but if you get out and vote, at least you'll have a voice.
Right. We'll win some things, the things that are important. Let's take this water board seat that I'm running for.
Yes, ma'am.
I am just very honored to have qualified week before last, and no one else qualified to run. So I will take the seat after the November election. However, people have got to get out and vote. I'd like for people to vote for me, whether I have opposition or not, because that says to other folks that that particular person has this support. And so when they bring things, they're representing these folks. But more importantly, I want to be on there because everybody who's a friend of mine or a supporter of mine who's going to vote for me, and I'll be at the bottom of the ticket in District 1, you need to have voted for somebody all the way down your ticket. That's Kamala and the governor, and then Sanford Bishop if you're in District 2. Then if you're in District 8, making a split up with congressional districts. We've got 2 and 8. And over on the extreme west side, there's some folks who live in District 8. Well, there's a young man named Reverend Butler, Darius Butler, a very fine young Black man who is a minister who's running. Did y'all know that?
No.
So we need to support him. We need those of you who are in District 8, Congressional District 8, ought to go vote for him and send Austin Scott on back home. Because he does nothing until it's election time. And then you see, y'all don't even know, could you kind of form a picture of him?
No.
Don't even know what he looks like until it's election time and he has opposition. If he didn't have opposition, you wouldn't even be hearing from him. But anyway, so we got to vote all the way down. Then we've got the state rep. See, we've got Miriam Paris, who's running as a Democrat. We've got Dr. Anissa Jones, who's running as a Democrat. We've got, let's see, I'm trying to remember everybody. We also have Tangi Herring, who is running as a Democrat.
He was on your show the other day.
And Floyd Griffin
Yes,
in 149. I remember the number there because that's my state rep district. Served with my husband some years ago as the first Black mayor of Milledgeville. He is running in 149. Let me tell you this. These districts were drawn to be majority Black, but they're only like 51, 52% Black. Just enough to say that they met the requirements of being majority Black, because 50% plus 1 is majority. But with a poor turnout, the Republicans could win these seats. That's why they are pumping millions of dollars into these races to turn out Republicans to vote. So what are you going to do? Are you going to sit at home talking about, is she Black? Is they said she wasn't Black. So, I mean, what?
Exactly.
What does it matter?
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
Did they actually say that the Board of Elections is going to have to hand count votes in Georgia?
It's in court, so it might not. And the Attorney General, I have to give him credit, he's Republican and usually on the wrong side, but he did come out and say that runs counter to state law. And so I think the courts are going to throw those last minute things out. But until they do, which could be tomorrow, the next day, next week, and we start early voting October 15th. So those decisions, that means the Board of Elections has to shift very quickly. But now they've got to work to think in terms of having to follow those rules. So the Republicans are doing this deliberately to shake things up, to have the elections officials nervous about making sure they don't make a mistake. So that's their plan. But what we've got to do is to overpower them. Why do you think Trump is so scared out there talking about they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs, they're stealing the pets? He looks like a
Don't do it.
oh my, he just, look, y'all. I told you I'm not going back. So if y'all want to go back, that's y'all. But I will not be on that train headed back to, over Virginia or wherever it is. No, it's not. I'm not. I can't do it. I can't do it. They just have to do something to me, because I swear I'm not going back. We don't need to even entertain that. And all of these things that they're throwing out there about Kamala not being black, they can't even pronounce her name. So that should disqualify them, because they're disrespecting her and you. If they can pronounce Donald or JD, whatever that stands for. He's changed his name 3 times. If they can pronounce their names, I'd be darned if they can't pronounce Kamala. Kamala.
Right.
And so it's a way of disrespecting and talking about those who don't have children. There are a bunch of folks who don't have children through choice and that is your decision to make. Whether many folks are opting not to have children until they're financially able, because children are expensive. They're expensive, honey. And whether you have them or not has nothing to do with your brain power. Not a single thing. This lady was Attorney General of the state of California. She was the senator, the lone female for a long time, senator in the U.S. Senate from California. She is an attorney. And so all of these things that are put out there to divert our attention away from what's important, all we need to know is that she is qualified, she's ready, she's rising in the polls, and she's going to win this thing if you vote. If you vote, she's going to win it. If you don't vote, she may come up short. And Georgia is the place where they're looking for that extra 16 electoral votes that Georgia has. We won it for Biden before, and we can do it again. That's my sermon for today, y'all. We want to thank our guests. Tell us again who we've had on.
Beyond the Bell.
Beyond the Bell. And
Commissioner-elect Donna.
All right. And they've been great. Y'all have to forgive me, but if I don't say it, it just will bubble up my head. My head will hurt. Thank you all so very much for tuning in today. If y'all will please Google Project 2025, read about it, and you'll never think of voting for Donald Trump or anybody that's a Republican again. So we encourage you, get registered. If you're not registered, go ahead and do that. Don't wait until the 7th, and then get ready, because we're going to have 2 Saturday voting days and a Sunday that we're going to take souls to the polls. We'll tell you more about that next week. So get registered. Call me if you need my help. We've got some campaign signs over at EL High School. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you again next Wednesday for another edition of Ask Elaine.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 9.